All right, Film with No Name, Episode 1. Are you ready?
I'm super ready and super excited. In fact, just for today, and maybe other days, I don't know, I've decided to wear a little bit of movie pop culture on every article of clothing. Even my socks.
What about your underwear?
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Film with No Name, a show that talks about independent films that you may not have heard of or even seen, but you can stream right now. Today's film is called Hellions, an independent horror film released by IFC Midnight and is currently streaming on Netflix. So let's take a look at this thing before we get started.
Are you on your way? Or should I meet you at the party or something? Hurry up.
Trick or treat!
Alright, so that was a look at Hellions, a story about a pregnant teenager who encounters malevolent trick-or-treaters that want more than just candy.
In layman terms, so everyone can understand, it's kind of like Rosemary's Baby meets Home Alone.
It's starring Chloe Rose as our pregnant heroine and Robert Patrick as the sheriff. It was so good seeing him in a police uniform again.
I couldn't agree more. It was written by Pascal Trottier. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. He's written many indie movies, two of which being The Colony and A Christmas Horror Story. Directed by Bruce McDonald, who's got a huge resume, 74 films on IMDb. Some of his films would include Pontypool in 2008, This Movie Is Broken in 2010, and Weirdos 2016.
I just want to point out that I can see that there's a dick.
It looks better on this side, though. It's much cleaner.
So let's talk about Hellions. Sam, what did you think?
I can't say that I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I loved it either. Okay, so now you got to keep in mind that this movie, if you look it up online, it's got, I believe, a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 2.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Those aren't the greatest reviews.
They're not. But I also find with independent horror movies, you can't really trust that every time.
Exactly. Absolutely. So without spoiling it, I think, like we said earlier, it is kind of like Rosemary's Baby meets Home Alone. Mm-hmm. And when I kind of started putting that together within the first, 10 minutes, the setup of the film, I was like, okay, I'm into this. I mean, if you would have come into my room and you're pitching your movie to me, and I'm like this, really cool, I don't know, I'm wearing a really nice suit, I got a really nice table, it's probably a view of, the city. If somebody came up to me and was like, dude, Rosemary's Baby, Home Alone, I would have been like, oh, give it to me now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it obviously started with a really good premise. You got the pregnant girl, the going over it with the doctor, kind of this weird moral of like teen pregnancy and stuff like that. And then we also introduced this character, this sheriff character who, spoiler alert, really has no purpose.
Well, he's got purpose, but it's for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Well, it's for the right reasons. And if you're meeting a cop in the first 10 minutes of the film, that cop's probably going to come back. Mm-hmm.
but no explanation as to how they know each other, why
Right.
they have any kind of relation. Why does a 17-year-old pregnant girl have this relationship with this town sheriff?
Right, exactly. And I mean, it's obvious that they have a nice relationship.
They definitely care about each other.
They definitely care about each other. We just don't know who he is, and really, we don't know much about who she is either. The setup was very rushed, and this happens in a lot of horror movies in general. The setup was rushed to get to the scary parts. But you got to be really careful about that, in my opinion, because if you don't know who your character is, what they want, and what's at stake, then the rest of your movie,
You could care less.
you could care less. And also, it makes it less scary, because if you don't really love your main characters, they're just kind of like meat on the screen. Go ahead, kill them.
Now, when the scary children show up, I actually at first was like, okay, this is starting to get good. The kids were not totally scary, but creepy enough to be like, don't answer that door twice when these kids show up.
Right.
That's where it kind of starts going. Yeah, I have to suspend my disbelief so much that it's on the edge of impossible.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mean any ill will towards the filmmakers. I mean, they made a good movie. By the way, this movie it was at Sundance. For a horror film, that's a really big deal. I mean, usually it's just, coming of age movies, the occasional rom-com, but never very rarely horror unless it's a big horror.
Chloe Rose I think she did a pretty good job actually with some of her work, given the material that she had to. Like, some of the dialogue in this is a little iffy. I'm going to be honest.
I thought she was fantastic. I thought all of the performances, excepting a couple minor ones, were spot on, but hers especially. And of course,
she really carries this movie.
Oh, it's
90% of the movie is her by herself, which I really actually enjoy.
Yeah. And then we got Robert Patrick, who, let's face it, Robert Patrick.
I mean, he's always good. He's Robert Patrick.
Yeah, Robert Patrick's great. And yeah, like you said, it was good to see him playing a cop again.
Mm-hmm. I think the cinematography is hard to talk about without spoiling some things in this movie, but there were elements. I'm just going to say this, okay? Slight spoiler alert. There's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be scary in this movie, and it's done with very bright lighting. So you can see every little bit of what's going on, and to me, personally, diminished all the scare value. I think that this movie actually, had they kept with the darker aesthetic that they have in the very beginning of the film, it would have been a much scarier horror film. We've been trashing on this movie a lot, but I actually did enjoy this movie.
I actually did too.
I was never bored. I was going, oh, that's silly, or I didn't really like that. But overall, I would probably watch this movie again to figure out what was going on.
I actually kind of want to watch it again, just so that I could really get into the Act 3 stuff, because maybe it wasn't as surreal as I thought it was. Maybe I'm just a dumbass, and I need to see it again. Because
Probably right.
It's never happened before.
He said it. I didn't say it.
It's never happened before. I'm usually very astute, but maybe this time they got me.
I want to know if you guys have watched it. Tell us what you think this movie was about. Tell us your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, what you agree with, what you disagree with, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with us. Maybe not. I don't know. People might not watch this. I might be talking to no one right now. Might be talking to myself. Watching it.
I'm going to watch it.
I'll talk to you then. Hey, Sam, what's up?
What's up? Oh, wait, no, that's for me on the other side. So I'll say it then.
Okay, good.
Well, that concludes our show. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Shreddy Orpheus over on Reddit for recommending Hellions. Don't forget to slam that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.